Hi guys, it's Jordan. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. I've already seen over 40 views and 4 subscribers to this channel. I really do appreciate that. I really wasn't even expecting that much. I was more thinking family and friends, but apparently I've gotten even outside of that circle already. So thank you so much. I have gotten comments and more questions outside of the YouTube channel than on it, of course. But the big question I keep getting right now is, what is the difference between a farm, a ranch, or a homestead? And of course, a farm or a ranch is acreage that's used in making like plant or animal product, right? But it's more of a singular type aspect. So it's only rice, or it's only wheat, or maybe the combined of the two, but they have 100 acres of one and 100 acres of another. Or their entire business is revolved around cattle, meat production, or rabbit, or whatever. But homesteading is a little bit different. Now, you can get many different answers on even what is homesteading. And I'll just give you my honest opinion on it from the research that I've done. There's 2 types of homesteading right now out there. The first one is just regular old homesteading, which comes from an old English term meaning settlement. And a settlement is a community. So if you watch like the TV shows on Alaska and stuff like that, that's a lot of homesteading. And that's honestly more original homesteading than modern homesteading. So modern homesteading is basically, you don't want to give up your amenities. You don't want to give up your microwave, which you can see in the back there. You don't want to give up electricity all the way, or even if you have electricity, it's because you have solar panels and things like that, and you can keep your washer and dryer going and all your normal amenities in lifestyle. But you just like to live more off of the land and be more self-reliant. And to different people, that means different things. So being self-reliant to yourself, they would be considered a homesteader. But some homesteaders go as far as to say, unless you have food grown on your farm for the animals that you're going to eat, that's not total self-sufficiency if you have to go to a livestock store and actually buy your feed. So in a way, I actually agree with that. But my goal is to slowly become a modern homesteader in that aspect, where I don't even have to go to a feed store anymore. So today, what I'd like to talk about is a DIY method, something that you need to keep in mind, whether or not it's a kitchen window garden, all the way up to 40 plus acres of land, depending on what you want. Now, DIY method I'm going to talk about isn't do it yourself necessarily. I mean, it is, because it's a farm or a homestead for you, but it is a different acronym for me. The D stands for diversity. So just as a window garden, which I have my kitchen window right here, right? If we only have one type of produce growing in that window, that's only 1 or 2 recipes that you can use, because maybe it's only basil that you put in there, right? But if you put basil, thyme, and mint in there, you're diversifying your life, and you're making your life more worthwhile in a country aspect, right? So you can use it on multiple different dishes, and at the end of the day, if you had a really hard day, you can make some hot mint tea and just let those cares waste away, right? So you need to really do that also in a bigger scale too. So for my instance, if I had goats, those goats need to be my employees, right? I may not use them for their meat or their milk, but they need to be out there chewing up some of the underbrush to make sure that I can get more pasture later on. If I have ducks, chickens, rabbits, anything like that, they need to be my employees, because that's how I'm going to make my money on having it as an actual business, which we'll get into that in the last one. The second one is innovation, and innovation can come in several different ways. Don't ever trust a salesman that says that they can change your life in one aspect. because I've seen those, I've read up on them, I've seen the outcomes, and honestly, it's a nominal, just such a tiny improvement to what they actually could be doing if they did it on their own and used a little bit more knowledge. And speaking of knowledge, I myself do research at least 4 hours a day. Even making this video, I probably spent 2 hours just trying to figure out how and why I wanted to say it the way I did. But as you can see right here, these are just some of the books that I read. The two big ones that I would actually suggest highly if you're thinking about anything bigger than a couple acres of land is the Story's Basic Country Skills book. This is how they went from 10 acres of land to being almost completely self-sufficient. I don't think they went as far as solar panels and that kind of stuff, honestly, in my own personal opinion, even though it has some stuff in there about it. But they really did, on the product of food, become very self-reliant. This one I recommend no matter who you are. If you're a homeowner of any kind, you need this book. Neither one of these guys are my sponsors or anything, but I give credit where credit's due. This one came from Ace Hardware Store in Arkansas, and we remember it so fondly because anytime we didn't know an answer to a question about our new house, and the guys there that were working there didn't know, they always would go in the back and look at this book. And finally I asked them, hey, can I buy that book off of you? And they didn't even know at the time, so they had to ring it up to see if they could, and sure enough I could. And I got a little bit of a discount off of it because it was damaged because they'd used it so often. But I really love this book. This book, literally, you could build a house from ground zero all the way through. Starts off with masonry and foundations, all the way to even making your own wood from wood out in your backyard. Making 2x4s and 2x6s and stuff, all the way to your patios, decks, siding, everything you'd ever want. So I highly recommend those. And then anything else that I've ever come across, like internet and everything, I write it down. All of this kind of stuff right here is all my farming needs. Even this here is a sample of a gray water system that I'm going to build in one of my barns. So a lot of research goes into this. Don't think that it's just easy and it's farm work, so it's been done for hundreds of years, so anybody can just do it. If you're wanting to get into the actual farm life, please do your research. And so finally, the why. The why stands for your lifestyle. So if you want to be a modern type homesteader, I highly encourage it. If you want to be a backwoods homesteader and you can go 1 week with a bath and, you know, a 20 by 20 house and everything, more power to you. Not saying it's a bad thing, but it's your lifestyle. If that's what gives you a purpose in life, then I highly recommend it. But it comes down to even the window garden. If that's something that brings a little bit of country into your life and a little bit more happiness, go for it. Now, real quick, I don't have very much time left on this video, so one of the things I wanted to do is go out here to my garage real quick and actually show you something that I've been working on for our homestead a little bit. And this kind of goes into my drafting and design background that I have. So right here in my garage, this is actually a barn that I am currently designing. This is actually the back of it here, and this is going to be for my mushroom farm. The whole thing is actually to scale. It is going to eventually be 16 feet wide by 40 foot long, and the whole ground floor is meant for the regular mushroom run and the fruiting chamber. The top floor is actually going to be my lab. So as you can see, I've made it modular to where you can take it apart, see within it. We're going to have it where It's going to have its own rainwater system to where rainwater will fall off into the gutter, into a rain barrel, and then actually get pumped back up into it so that I can use rainwater for the mushroom growing process, because they take a lot of water. But I've done everything all the way down to price points and all that kind of stuff on how much it's going to cost me to make this thing. And I can get it down to within about $500 of a price point at this point. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Please do your research. I really want to help you guys out. This is just one step, right? Just wanted to show you guys what these plans are. So one of these days I will be building this building, and I want to show you how I build this building and the processes that you need to do to make this yourself if you want to do it. So stay tuned. If you have anything that you want to comment about, please do. Any questions? Even if you have a window garden or an outside garden and you have a pro tip right now, please leave a description in the bottom of something amazing that you've done for your personal garden so that you can help other people too. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jordan, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks.